This is a journey into sound. A journey which along the way will bring to you new color, new dimension, new values, and a new experience.
Welcome to the Ghee Spot Podcast. I'm your guide, Katie Silcox, bringing you your weekly self-love soundbite. Join us for conversations around sex, spirit, and all things self-care. All things self-care. All things self-care.
This is a journey into sound.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
You are a Ghee Spot Podcast with Katie Silcox.
Hey beauties, I've got some yummy little nuggets to hand out to you this morning that I think is going to be really helpful in simplifying what can sometimes feel like very complex reality, this whole Ayurvedic worldview thing. So we're going to go into some easy tips. Three ways, three realms. Just three things that you can do that are going to help you stay healthy, happy, sexy this fall coming up. Before we dive into that, a little love note from our sponsor, Ahara Ghee. As you guys know, it's the best ghee in the world. It's my favorite ghee. It's the ghee that I cook with. It's the ghee that I put in my soups and my stews. It's the ghee that I use to saute my veggies in the pan. Ghee is really the staple fat in my diet. So we're going to provide you guys with a link to Ahara Ghee in the show notes. And also, just to try out, putting a little teaspoon of it in your tea. You can actually add a little bit of ghee. It's very common, especially in northern India, Ladakh, Nepal area, to put a little bit of ghee in your morning tea or coffee. And it was the way that they kept themselves nice and warm in the winter months. And so that's a wonderful thing. You know, people aren't aware a lot of times that ghee is actually used in Ayurvedic medicine as a carrier. Ghee is said to be able to, the lipids can hold the medicine of the food that we are eating. It can hold the medicinal qualities, for example, of the turmeric or the black pepper or the cardamom. So make sure that you cook with ghee, and make sure that if you're drinking some sort of yummy turmeric spiced latte, make sure you add just a little bit of ghee, and that's going to actually help those spices get deeper into the tissues of the body. So on that note, it is fall, and we here in Virginia are so blessed, as many of you listening are, to have this incredible changing of the leaves. And I've just been really throwing a lot of gratitude and love at the bright orange and the bright yellow and still the green, right? It's all here. It's green, it's yellow, it's red, it's all happening. So appreciation, big ups to fall season. It's a lot of people's favorite season. And I think that might be because, you know, this whole chance that we have in the fall to die, to let go. And that feels, actually, if you get into it, you guys, it feels really good. It feels really good to shed off that which is not going to be helpful for us. And it feels really good even to shed off just some of the past. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy or traumatic or scary. It can just be like, yeah, you know, like that is gone. And the only moment that I have is really this one. And so I think fall just is such a reminder of the temporality of everything and the freedom in that and the joy in that. And if you can really tap into that, it's potent. And it can also be a time where it hurts, you know. Letting go is so freaking hard. I know you know what I'm talking about. And so fall asks us to make peace with and amends even with the mortality that sometimes I forget about, right? A friend of mine wears a skull ring on his finger, and he says it's to remind him that every day could be the last. And that's what this whole season's about. It's about celebrating that there is a pressure, a divine, benign pressure that Mother Nature, gods, the cosmos, places on us that invites us into temporality of this incarnation. And in that pressure cooker, because imagine if you lived forever and you knew that. You do, but we don't know that. And because we don't know that, and we feel in this incarnation we are temporary, that pressure cooker creates an impetus and a drive and a longing and a passion, even in the best of cases, to become. So fall holds these seeds of our becoming that may be birthed again in the spring. So I hope that you can tap into that celebration aspect of fall. I know that Halloween is coming up, and it's really that opportunity to celebrate temporality, and in that, eternality, of course. What is it in me that does not die? This is a great inquiry and contemplation for fall. So from the cosmic and the transcendental, let's downward movement through the body back onto the ground of, okay, well, how can I stay happy, healthy, sexy during fall? And a friend of mine was saying one of the ways that you can tell if your Ojas, your vital life reserve, is good is just by asking the question, am I happy, horny, and hungry? If I'm happy, horny, and hungry, I know that I've got pretty good reserves. And so we want to keep those strong in the fall. And the fall is when they can kind of dip down. It is, of course, as you may know, the Vata season, the time when things begin to become more dry and more brittle and more windy and more cold. That's what's happening. Although today in Virginia, we're going to have 80 degrees in almost November. Nonetheless, this is this time where things begin to become more dry and cold. And so let's talk a little bit about, just for some of you, it'll be a review, but I know for me, it really is always good to remind myself and to hear it. This season, we need to be eating things that are more warm and wet. Warm and wet. And so your soups, your stews, your ghee that you're gonna juice up all your foods with, you want to skip out on more of the dry and raw foods like salad and cold fruit and raw veggies and sprouts. That kind of stuff we want to start to leave behind for a little while. Fall really is the time where our ancestors would have been eating more stews, more meat, more fat. So this is the time. A little bit less actually on the carbs and more on the fats and meats, although I'm a carb eater all year long. You want to emphasize the sweet, sour, and salty tastes. Tastes, that's a new word. The sweet, sour, and salty tastes. Like, some of your more heavier fruits like bananas and dates, really good. Avocados, the pumpkins are coming up, the squashes are coming up, the apples are coming out, and it's great time to be eating more of our heavier grains like the rice and the barley, and the nuts, the almonds, and nice root veggies like carrots and sweet potatoes. So you guys know this, eat seasonally, but more of the heavier foods. And it may be obvious, but now is when your liquids can be a lot warmer. And so in the summer, I drink a lot of water that's more room temperature, or truth be told, I do like to drink the bubbly water, the cold bubbly water in the summer. I know it's not great, but I do it. That's my this is my confession. But in the winter, you don't want to do that. In the fall and the winter, we got to let the bubbly waters and the ice waters and the, margaritas. You gotta let that go. And so what do we do? Well, the teas right now really make sense. Just really dive into teas. And if you aren't a loose leaf tea person, you might want to start to explore that. You can just throw a bunch of your favorite loose leaf teas in a mason jar, fill it up with hot water, stick a little mate straw in there, and you can sip it all day long. And if you're like, what's a mate straw? It's a stainless steel straw that you stick in your tea, and it has a little filter at the bottom. We'll put a link for it in the show notes so you can buy one. It's so great, because then you don't have to strain it, and it can kind of just get that medicinal quality. It's stronger and stronger throughout the day.
Hi there, this is Amari, Program Manager at Shakti School with a quick update. If you know you're ready to go deep and spend a year learning with us, the next session of Ayurveda School starts in January, and the deadline for registration is December 31st. Getting back into the swing of learning can be a big commitment, but it's also the best catalyst for change and evolution. If Katie and I could have every woman do at least level 1 of Ayurveda School, we would. It's a year-long program that will both nurture and challenge you in the best way. It's everything we should have learned as beings with bodies and psyches that we were never taught in school. If you want to have a chat with me about whether this program is right for you, you can put a free call directly on my calendar at calendly.com/Shakti School /free coaching call. That's CALENDLY.com /Shakti School /free coaching call. And will also put that link in the show notes. Have a beautiful day, sisters. Now back to the episode.
So this is a great time for warm. So tip number 1, if we were to encompass it all, because I said we're going to give you 3 realms. Number 1, eat warm and wet, heavy grounding food. Number 2, and this may surprise you, now is the time to do your Neti pot. And again, if this is all new for you, we're going to give you some links that'll help you get some resources around it. But Neti pot in the fall is really a great time. I mean, Neti all year long. But as things get drier, we want to make sure we keep the nasal passages really lubricated and clear. And so doing Neti pot, super important. You can actually put a little bit of warm sesame oil in your nostrils as well. That'll keep things warm. And then the last thing is going to be oiling your body. And you can cover your whole body in oil, sit in it for about 15 minutes, and then take a shower. Or you could put a little bit less oil on the body and leave it on your body throughout the day. Oiling your body is just a general great Ayurvedic tip for fall. But what I really want to encourage you to do, especially if you're a woman, that will help keep the hormones balanced during this fall season, is breast massage. And so you can put a little bit of breast balm. I'll give you guys a great link for it. I use one that's just full of Ayurvedic herbs on the breasts, and give them a loving massage for, a good couple minutes. Just do what feels good, basically. Circular motions towards the heart's always nice. And this one act can really change the hormonal makeup. In tantric medicine, we understand that you have a cord, or a channel, if you will, that runs from the breasts or the heart area to the genitals, to the yoni, heart yoni. And this channel is an important channel for lymphatic communication, but also spiritual communication. And so most women don't know that their breasts are basically the storehouse of their spiritual life force capacity to give. And most of the time we're just giving outward all the time, from our heart out through our arms and out through our hands into the world. And so when you do breast massage, what you're doing is you're returning that giving channel back onto yourself. You can also have someone else rub your breasts if you'd like. And these are very, very important ancient tantric practices that show up in Japan, in China, in India. I don't know much about tantric practices from other places, but I'm sure they're there, whereby one could increase the youth and vitality of a woman, the woman that they're with, or a woman upon herself, by giving her breasts a massage. And it was shown to be able to heat up the warmer of her womb. And this is a wonderful thing. We want to keep women healthy and happy and fertile. So breast massage, neti pot, and eating warm and wet. Why I'm giving you 3 tips this year instead of 25 tips? Because you can handle 3 things. And if 3 is too much, do 1. And what I want you to do, my ghee spot challenge for you, is I want you to take out a sticky note and I want you to write the words down: warm and wet foods, neti pot, and breast massage. And just go into your bathroom and stick it right on that little mirror. And every day you're going to go, oh, all I've got to do, Ayurvedically speaking, today is eat warm and wet, do my neti pot, and do my short breast massage. I can do that. And then your system goes, I can do that. And then you do that. Rather than 25 things that you don't do and you get overwhelmed, or maybe you do it for a week and then you burn out. All right, my beauties, as always, it's just always so good to be able to feel you out there listening in time and space. And I'm sending you all a great big gift of fall love through the colors of this season: bright orange, bright yellow, green, brown, red, coming at you.
Beautiful.